Holy moly guacamole, can I tell you something that I think you are going to find uncomfortably relatable? You know that moment you're on LinkedIn again and you're scrolling past that woman who just seems lighter than you, freer, like they woke up one day and decided they were done playing small and just went for it. And for about 4 seconds, you feel this flicker of something, excitement, longing. And then your brain goes, don't be ridiculous. Be grateful. You have a job and you have a good life. So what do? Close the app. I did it for years and years. And what I know now is I wish someone had told me then that that flicker was not just jealousy, it was my future waving at me. And every time I closed the app, I was telling her to go away. And here is what is actually happening in your brain when you do that, because this is the bit that's going to blow your mind a little bit. The reason you keep overriding those signals, it's not weakness. It's that you just don't want the change badly enough. I know, sorry. I know this was going to be uncomfortable, but there is this thing that is happening in your brain and it's actively working against you. And once you understand it, genuinely, everything starts to shift. So stay with me. I'm going to just take you back to a version of me that I was not always proud of. And I want you to hear it because towards the end of my corporate career, on paper, I was completely fine. Okay, maybe not completely, but I was, smart, capable, high functioning. I think everybody around me thought I really had it together. But inside, I was bone tired. Like, I'm not talking about the tiredness that a holiday can solve or a weekend of being alone needs. I'm talking about the heaviness that was in my soul. I had even stopped exercising the way that I loved. I wasn't speaking up in meetings anymore. I just wasn't this woman here that is sitting here today who's always got something to say. And I was sitting under these like fake fluorescent lights, feeling like a battery hen. I know I've talked about this before in podcast episodes, and how me and my friend Steph used to like joke about putting all our stuff back in the locker. Like we were these battery hens. And that's how it felt. Like driving to work on autopilot. You know, when you get to work and you generally think, I don't even remember that drive in because you're just literally on that autopilot. I had outgrown where I needed to be. I was telling myself so many times that I needed to be grateful. I shouldn't really be so dramatic. I had I had a son. I needed to be responsible. But there are just some signs that you just cannot ignore. And I think for me, that when I got so poorly, it was painful to even get up to go and pick up my son from school. And this didn't all happen at once. It wasn't just like a tough week. It was that my life had been so forced to fit into a box that I didn't really fit in anymore. And there was literally nothing left of what really mattered most to me anymore. And that was when I knew this was not a holiday problem. This was actually a life problem. But it took me so long to actually act on what I already knew. And it wasn't until that I actually got made redundant and I started exploring about actually, what do I want to do next? I knew that corporate wasn't right for me. I didn't want to return to that environment that wasn't even designed for women, never alone mothers. So I didn't want to go back there. But my brain was trying to tell me that starting my own business wasn't a safe thing to do. But I knew there was just something in me. And I'll never forget thinking, right, what do I really love doing? Like if I don't have to do what I'm told to do and I can talk and be completely authentically me, what would I talk about? And I remember just thinking about how all the things I really, really loved, and manifesting is one of those things. It is one of the tools that I use in my coaching. It's something I've always used along my way when I've been working with people that want to change careers and want to know what lights them up again. And I use that because it's a really great way of tapping into your subconscious. Your subconscious is 95% of your brain that is not being used. So by tapping into that is really, really powerful. And I knew all of this and I loved manifesting, but I was always too scared to talk about it because I felt like people would think it was too woo, that I wouldn't be taken seriously. So I just really, really dumbed it down, dialed that button of me right down. I never forget when I went to go and pitch to this venue where I live. And I had this whole idea, this whole concept of I wanted to do these soul goal parties where I brought the neuroscience and manifesting together. And I was really nervous because I was like, I don't know how this is going to land. I don't think people are really going to get this. And I went to go and pitch it to this gorgeous lady. And she was like, yeah, this is amazing. Like, this is right up my street. I love this. It's basically what Tara Swart has talked about in her book, The Source. I was like, I have never read this book. And I went straight away to Waterstones in Guildford on Guildford High Street. And I brought the book and I read it back to back. And I phoned my friend Vanessa, like in the most excited I have ever been, I think. I'm going to put aside wedding and childbirth. Beyond that. And I was like, oh my gosh, this incredible woman, Dr. Tara Swart, has literally written a book on my methodology. And I'd already been spent about 3 months putting everything together that I knew and I loved, my experience, my expertise. And I'd created this methodology, which is the see it, feel it, do it, all wrapped up in the heart-led map. And I read this book and I couldn't believe it. She'd basically like paved the way for me and I didn't even know. So I'm going to share with you some of the learnings from the book because this girl has got my back. So she is a neuroscientist and the book is called The Source. Now, if you sign up to my newsletter, The Sunday Pulse, you will now start getting, I'm calling it the Secret Soul Sheet. And I will put the book in the link in there as well. So it's called The Source. And oh my gosh, I need to phone up this woman and absolutely thank her for writing this book. So basically, your brain, my brain, every brain is mechanical and it is wired to focus twice as hard on potential loss and danger than it is on gain and positivity. Twice. Okay, twice. So when you're imagining leaving a corporate job or taking a bold move to do something different, whether that's starting your business, moving to a different company, building a life that actually fits you, your brain is not doing an even calculation. It is running loss scenarios on double volume. The financial uncertainty, the judgment, the identity shift, the starting again. All of this is amplified. And here is the other thing. Your brain basically cannot tell the difference between a familiar discomfort and safety. You know the phrase that your body keeps the score, and basically your nervous system has filed what is safe and what is not safe. This gets very deep because it goes back to things that you have maybe learned and been conditioned to when you're younger. But it basically is knowing what is safe, and that will be keeping you from going out of your comfort zone because it knows what that pain feels like, the life you actually want, the unknown of your brain meets danger. So what happens? Boom, that's when you close the app and you tell yourself, I'll be grateful. And you teach yourself one override at a time that your inner knowing is not reliable. Your gut is not reliable. You override your greatest intuition and self-trust. And this is not a weakness. It is literally your brain doing its mechanical job, but its job is to keep you alive. It's still got that reptilia element to it. And it's not going to help you build something extraordinary. Now, burnout for me was not the beginning of my problem. I really want you to hear that. Burnout was a consequence. And the problem started every single time I felt this quiet wrongness and talked myself out of it. Every time I close that LinkedIn app, don't be so ridiculous. Every time I chose a more familiar pain over unfamiliar possibility. And that's the pattern. But the brilliant news is also that your brain has neuroplasticity, which basically means we can rewire it. And I'm not going to talk here about toxic positivity, but I'm talking about these deliberate, repeated, chosen actions in a new direction. That is how you change the signals in your nervous system to start filing things under safe. And this is exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about bold moves, like taking these bold moves so your nervous system starts catching up with the feeling of feeling safe. So here is what I want you to take away from today. And genuinely, I want you to feel this, not just think it. You're not stuck because you're weak, and you're not stuck because you don't want it enough. I know that feeling, that deep feeling in your soul when you really want something. It's deep, but that heaviness of being pulled back to the familiar. Your brain is doing exactly what it's designed to do. Your brain, mind brain, everyone's brain, the human brain. It's trying to protect you and keep you in the known, the comfortable. And the moment you understand that and you stop making it mean that something is wrong with you, or you should be grateful, that word should, if that word should comes up, catch that. But start asking yourself questions. Be curious. What would it look like to start building evidence that the unknown is actually safe? Take those small, bold moves, because that is generally how it works. Not one massive leap, just small, deliberate moves that begin to teach your nervous system that the life you actually want is not a threat. It's just where you belong. And listen, that flicker when you're scrolling past those women on the apps, LinkedIn, Instagram, that's not jealousy. It's a mirror. It's information. It's data. And it could be that it's your future self who's built the business, moved to a different company, who works on her own terms, who picks their kids up from school, is sending you a signal. Read that data. The question isn't whether you deserve that life. You absolutely do. The question is, are you ready to stop closing yourself from it? You don't have a motivational problem, darling. I promise you. Your brain's just wired for survival, not for bold moves, but you can rewire it and you can make these bold moves. So, next time you see something, instead of turning away from it, if it's on an app, for example, screenshot it. Start collecting things that light you up that you see. Write it in your notes, voice note yourself, catch it and keep it. Because the flickers that are in there are the beginning of your evidence, and you just need to create that file of evidence. And if you're ready to actually start building your next chapter, instead of just dreaming about it, start turning those visions into reality, then message me. Because that's exactly what I do. I work with women like you who want to take that next bold move and turn it into something that is finally, entirely, unapologetically yours. And there's something I want to share with you. So on the 8th of June, I am running a free masterclass all about the 6 cages that are holding you back. I'm calling it the confidence curse, because I hear this so much in my world where women are saying, but I'm not confident enough to do that. And that is what is holding us back, is this confidence curse. And I'm here to explain and show you what those 6 cages are and then what you can start doing to moving forward. So if you want to join me free on the 8th of June at 8 p.m, I will pop the link in the show notes. Come and join me. I'd love to see you there. It'll be live, so come and feel the vibes of everyone else in the room and let's do it. So I'll see you next week. Now go and do something bold.